I'm here to report that Mitchell Robinson is closing on his season debut. Sources tell me his goal is to make his return to the lineup at some point over the next week. He did multiple full scrimmages over the last several days, and he's going to have another session scheduled for early in the week. And then the Knicks, Robinson will make a determination on when that target date could be. This is someone that was a starting center for the Knicks last season. He's expected to be an anchor for the Knicks defense alongside Karl-Anthony Towns, potentially finishing games together for the Knicks.
So yesterday, before the Knicks took on the Celtics, Shams dropped a bomb saying that Mitchell Robinson is expecting to make his return the following week, which is now this week. I'm recording this on Monday. This is big news for the Knicks. Obviously, Mitch is our best interior defender. I didn't realize that Cat is in the bottom 5 of defense out of the position. Jalen Brunson doesn't shock me with his size. We know he's more of an offensive guy. But that means that the Knicks have 2 starters of their 5 that are bad defenders. So bringing in Mitch certainly will help that. Last season, averaged 1.1 blocks, 8.5 rebounds, 5.6 points, shot 57.5% from the field. So you're getting a guy who can catch lobs, can protect the basket, also can switch out in the perimeter. That's something that Mitch has worked on every single year of his career. Originally wasn't the best perimeter defender switching pick and roll, but he's worked on it since. He's been great there. We saw what he did against Embiid. It starts to sort of rise the question of should the Knicks play Cat and Mitch more than we previously thought? Because when the Knicks did get Cat, it was because of the uncertainty of the health of Mitch, and they figured that, hey, look, we'll play Cat probably, I don't know, 37 minutes a game or whatever, which is a lot for a 7-footer. And then the other 11 will give that to Mitch. But now Shams did mention that they could close together. The Knicks are just a bad defensive team. I mean, they gave up 118 to the Celtics, which isn't bad, but 142 to the Cavs. Of course, the last time they played the Celtics, that was also a blowout at MSG. So the Knicks, they were 17th in defense coming into the weekend. That certainly went down after their performance. 0-7 against the Thunder, Cavs, and Celtics. 1-7 against the top 2 seeds in the league. The problem is Thibodeau, though. A problem is the Knicks' lack of depth. The roster is just not that deep. There's not as many athletes out there as you'd like. Like OG and Mikal Bridges are not the best athletes in the world. They're not bad athletes, but they just haven't really performed like I anticipated. But Tibbs, he runs a drop coverage scheme 48% of the time, refusing to switch everything. When teams go up against the Celtics and the Cavs, they switch everything. It's your only chance. The Knicks aren't doing that. That's why we saw Porzingis get a lot of open three. Really, the Celtics in general got a lot of open threes, and they're not missing those. I mean, they're not like Derek White, Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Tatum, Brown, Al Horford, those Peyton Pritchard. Like those guys are not missing open threes. They make contested threes. You got to let them wide open with no one 5 feet from them. So there's a lot of issues going on, and I know a lot of optimistic Knicks fans are bringing up the fact that the team is the 3rd best in the East. In total NBA, I believe we're 5th. Not anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still is the 6th best record in the league. But if you can't beat the top teams, you're a pretender. The Knicks are a pretender. And if you look at where we were when we got Isaiah Hartenstein and Brunson that season, losing to Miami in the 2nd round, I mean, this Knicks team is no better than that one. It's as simple as that. The defense and it really just the fit, the chemistry was a lot better then. Also, the league was more wide open. Now you've got Cleveland, who's historically good. Same with OKC. Boston is favorited, yet those teams are historically good. So it goes to show that there's 3 legit powerhouses in the league right now, and the Knicks just aren't on that level. I do agree. I think this team is 2 years away from competing for a championship. Just right now, again, like I said, the defensive scheme doesn't change. So you're not adapting, you're not adjusting. And this is why Tibbs hasn't won anything as a primary head coach. Refusing to go a little bit deeper in his rotation, to make adjustments on the fly. That's not going to work. Right? Like that's not going to win a championship in the NBA. The lack of depth, which again, even if the Knicks had depth, would we even be using it with Tibbs? So I mean, we're looking at this team in the playoffs is probably going to go 8 deep. Brunson, Bridges, Hart, Anunoby, Cats 5, and then McBride 6, Mitch 7, Achua 8, and then Cameron Payne is 9. Don't expect to see anyone else. So no Shamit, no Hook Porty. Not going to see probably even TJ Warren when he gets called up. We'll if he gets called up. I don't know who the last roster spot's going to go to. Maybe it goes to Victor Oladipo. There's been rumors of that circulating lately around the Knicks organization. Those guys aren't going to play. And even 9 feels like it's being pushed. I mean, but also I feel like Campaign has to play because at the same time, like Brunson's not playing 48 minutes. Um, and McBride is more of a replacement for Bridges. So, but also I wouldn't be shocked if Bridges plays 46 to like Bridges might just play the entire game. I wouldn't be surprised actually about Bridges. So who knows what's going to happen? But I would have liked to see the Knicks go deeper in their rotations. Even a guy like Delon Wright, Huck Porty is now part of the rotation, but he should have been all year. So, yeah, that's just kind of where we're at. Is there's just not enough. There's no adjustments being made. The team isn't deep enough, especially against Boston and the Cavs. Those are the teams that I'm in OKC too. I mean, the reason why we haven't beaten them is because they literally have exactly what the Knicks don't. So yeah, that's one thing. But in terms of Mitchell Robinson, I do think he's going to make more of an impact than people think. He's not going to be able to put the Knicks over the Cavs or put the Knicks over the Celtics, at least in my opinion. In order to do that, they would need, again, to do everything that I said. They would need to go deeper in the rotation. They need to make adjustments, switch everything. But even if they do that, again, like Brunson and Cat are just not good defenders. So you can't win a championship being the 17th best defense. Like, it's just not going to happen. Maybe Mitch will help that, but I do think though that Mitch will make the Knicks a significantly better basketball team, just because of his ability to rebound offensively, give second chances, block shots, catch lobs. He's efficient around the basket. Also can switch everything too. If Mitch ends up on a guard, it's not the worst thing in the world just because of his size and his length. If they try to blow by him, he can pin it off the backboard. If they try to shoot over him, he can block it. So Mitch is a very unique type of defender. And at the very least, he stretches your rotation one down. So, like I said, without Mitch, the Knicks essentially are running an 8-man rotation. With Mitch, it's now 9. So there's more depth there. But I do think some changes are going to need to be made in the future. So OG Anunoby ended up getting the bag. I know I talked about the offseason. I hope OG takes a pay cut. He didn't. That's cool. Not everyone's going to do that. Brunson did. Mikal Bridges is expected to. Josh Hart's on a friendly deal, so is McBride. Cat's on a monster. Like Cat's making like $60 million a year. So yeah, the Knicks have to figure out though the rest of the team, like the second unit, because like you go and you look at the Cavs, just pull up their team. So their starters just they don't play many minutes. I think they're like 29th or 30th in minutes. Like Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, Allen, and then Strus, I believe, is who they start. They've got DeAndre Hunter, who they picked up. But you look at their bench, like they've got Hunter, Jerome, Wade, Okoro, like all those guys are giving pretty big impacts too. And we saw the Cavs bench against us on Friday night was able to run with our starters, right? And yet alone our second unit. But so that's an issue too. So yeah, the Knicks definitely have a lot of work to do. Still a long season ahead. Having Brunson, having Cat, getting Mitch back, of course, there's always going to be a chance against the Celtics and the Cavs. It's not like the Knicks have no chance. Like they can beat them, right? It's possible. It's not probable, but all the Knicks can do is just play the rest of their season, try to stay healthy. It's not an easy schedule, if I'm being honest. The Knicks are prime time on Wednesday against Philly, but with Embiid being out, like that's a game that's not going to be an enjoyable game. But Memphis, Miami, Golden State, Los Angeles, Lakers, and then the Clippers. So yeah, there's some tough teams coming up too, but it's just very difficult to be able to trust the Knicks given the fact that they couldn't even compete over the weekend. The Celtics game, they turned a 27-point deficit into 4. The Cavs game, they never were in that. Um, Sort of hung around in the first quarter thanks to Brunson, but I think Brunson had 16 in the first quarter or something ridiculous. But the Knicks will take on the Cavs April 2nd, the Celtics April 8th, and then the Cavs April 11th. So who knows? Maybe Mitch is back and dominating, and the Knicks turning around defensively. They're making adjustments. They're a deeper team, and they win some of those games. Maybe they go 2-3 in that stretch, and we'd have a completely different look on the Knicks. But just given what it takes to win a championship, I don't think the Knicks necessarily meet those requirements. And it's just it starts in the offseason too. Like you look at the Cavs, they had some big time pickups. Like they got Strus, the trade deadline, they got Hunter, and they just and OKC ends up trading for Alex Caruso. They end up signing Isaiah Hartenstein in free agency. So, but also those teams They were constructed years ago and developed with one another and gained chemistry. And this Knicks team is completely new. So that's why I say I think the Knicks are 2 years away. Like this year, like next year, and then the year after that, it's going to take time. And good thing this team's young as well. I think the only guy over 30 is Cameron Payne. So